It is like negative 48 degrees here in Edwardsville right now, so please bear with me. I got my fleece on that I just got for Christmas. I'm trying to stay nice and cozy while I make this video for you, but I wanted to go over something super quick here. So I came to the gym a little early before I got some private lessons, and we'll be teaching our 4 to 6 year old class, the 7-year-old and teens, and then also the adult class tonight. But we've had a bunch of new people signing up with the new year, and after we did our no-gi stuff in December, we've had some new people joining the gym. So I wanted to make this video here real quick just to go over a couple do's and don'ts in jiu-jitsu, especially for you beginners. All right, so I got my notes here. I want to make sure that I cover at least a couple of those topics, and then I'm going to dive into some more of those topics, hopefully with some later videos. All right, so I got 3 do's and I got 3 don'ts for you. Feel free to ask some questions, and like I said, we'll take a deeper dive into a lot of those topics in some future videos. All right, so the first do when you start training jiu-jitsu is to try and find a schedule that works for you. So we all have different priorities, responsibilities. Maybe we have families, work obligations, you travel, whatever it is. Try to find a schedule that works for you. And it doesn't have to be a schedule that fits your training partners in class or anything like that. It's whatever fits for you and your goals. And maybe once a week, and maybe twice a week, you may be able to make it here every single day. But like I said, some of us had different challenges. Maybe you live 45 minutes from your gym. Maybe you have 4 or 5 kids at home. Maybe your spouse travels for work and you just have obligations that you need to be home for and you can't be at the gym. That's okay. Find a schedule that works for you and for your goals, and also one that is going to work for your body too. So if you're new to jiu-jitsu and you're just hopping off of that couch and you're trying to get a lot of like physical activity into it, you got to listen to your body. Don't overtrain yourself too much, which is very common in the beginning when people start training jiu-jitsu. You may get hurt, injured, you may just wear yourself down, you may start to think that jiu-jitsu isn't for you. That's not necessarily the problem. We just need to find a schedule that works for you, and then we need to stick to that schedule. The next do, so I'm gonna have 3 do's here for you. The second do is make sure that you ask questions, and these can be questions about anything. You're new to jiu-jitsu. You don't have the answers. Don't be afraid to ask questions. People get kind of embarrassed to ask specific questions. If you don't want to ask your professor or your coach because you don't want them to think that you're dumb or you don't know something, ask some of the members there. They should be more than happy to help you out as well. So these could be questions on techniques or just like the overall goal of jiu-jitsu, like why would I go to mount? Why do I want to take someone's back? Why do I want to be on my back with my legs wrapped around them? Why don't I just want to push them away and stand back up? So don't be afraid to ask some of those questions. But I would say even more importantly, don't be afraid to ask questions about etiquette, hygiene, and just general expectations about like when you first start training. So as a coach, I don't expect someone who walks in the first day to like show me how good they are at jiu-jitsu. I want you to kind of sit back and watch and start to learn our gym's etiquette, and the time to prove yourself or show what you have learned or what you do know is further on down the road. So in the beginning, ask questions. It can be about jiu-jitsu, but it can be about etiquette, hygiene, how to tie the belt, how to take care of the gi, things like that. And the third do that I have for you is make friends. One of the best things about jiu-jitsu is the social aspect of jiu-jitsu, and it's the friends and the camaraderie. I have people all the time that come in, they're like, hey, my back is hurt, my shoulders hurt, I don't even really feel like training, I need to take some time off, but like, can I just come and hang out at the gym? Absolutely. That's one of the best parts about jiu-jitsu is the people that you will meet and the friendships that you will make, and this will make it a little bit more fun. You'll look forward to class even more when you really can't wait to see that person or talk to that person. It'll make the drilling aspect of jiu-jitsu maybe a little less awkward, so I highly encourage you to make friends. Let's talk about a couple don'ts. So you just began jiu-jitsu, you're learning all sorts of stuff, like your mind is overflowing with information. Let's talk about 3 don'ts for that beginner in jiu-jitsu. The very first one, try not to compare yourself to others. I just talked about having your own schedule. Your schedule is different than everybody else's. Your strengths, your weaknesses, your challenges are going to be different than everybody else. Your starting point is going to be different than everybody else as well. So try not to compare yourself to everybody. Just focus on yourself, focus on your improvements, especially in the beginning. You can wait to compare yourself further on down the road to all your training partners and your progress versus theirs, and the coaches will help you with that. But in the very beginning, especially in those first couple months, please try not to compare yourself to everyone else. You don't know what their background is, how far they've come, how much time they put in, or anything like that. So try to just enjoy the journey and don't rob yourself of some of that fun by comparing yourself to everybody. The second don't is try not to win practice or try to win all your sparring rounds. When you first come into jiu-jitsu, you only have a couple tools in your toolbox, right? You haven't learned a bunch of techniques. You don't know all the positions, the holds, the sweeps, the submissions, and stuff like that. Those will come. In the very beginning, the tools that you have, strength, speed, aggression, and sometimes those things in the very beginning can rob you of learning, and they can lead to a higher risk of injury. There is time to use speed, strength, and aggression in jiu-jitsu, but in the very beginning, I encourage you to kind of put those things on the back burner and focus on trying to just learn and practice and implement the moves that you have learned. If you've only been to a couple classes and you've learned 2 sweeps, try those 2 sweeps. The only way you're going to get better at the techniques that you have learned in class so far is if you try those techniques. If you try to go out there and you try to win every single match, what's going to happen is you're going to put the technique on the back burner, and you're going to try to use those tools that I just talked about. So don't necessarily try to win all your sparring rounds. Your partners don't expect you to win every round, and the coaches don't expect you to win every round. So really focus on just getting to the positions and the techniques that you have learned and try those. The last don't that I have for you is don't forget why you started. So you may have started for various reasons. Some common ones are people just trying to get in shape or improve their fitness level, people wanting to learn self-defense and how to defend themselves, maybe improve their confidence a little bit. And some people just want to try something new, make some friends, or they have a friend that did jiu-jitsu and they're raving about it, and they're like, I have got to try whatever this is. Well, after a couple months, you can kind of forget why you started your jiu-jitsu journey, and you can start to compare yourself. You can start to get a little frustrated with your progress. There's a time for all of that. There's a time to get frustrated if you're not improving. There's a time to compare yourself. But in the beginning, if you feel yourself getting a little frustrated or burnt out or whatever it is, try to remember why you started in the first place. And this may kind of reinvigorate you a little bit, bring you back and be like, you know what, I started just to make friends. I started to learn something new, and I am doing those things. I am checking those boxes. Wait for all the other stuff further on down the line. All right, guys? So find a schedule that works for you, and don't compare yourself to everybody else. Ask questions instead of trying to win every single sparring round. And then also make some friends, and don't forget why you started jiu-jitsu. We'll dive into these topics a little bit more at a later date, but I wanted to get in here real quick, make this video for some of the beginners, and really just anybody who's training jiu-jitsu, but especially for those people who have lately joined us. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask away. Thanks.